like to achieve if you are elected Vice President Advocacy?
Okay, so something I'm super passionate about is creating safe spaces on campus, and that's something I worked with a lot at the Women's Center, and so I'd like to extend that to as many spaces on campus as I can, and that means, I guess, working with student groups and student councils and student associations to help them, provide them with the tools to create safe spaces in their own spaces, and hopefully we can extend that as far across campus as we can. I'm also really interested in the gendered spaces issues surrounding bathrooms, and I'd like to work with our campus to create as safe a space as possible as we can in our bathrooms for our students. Let's see. Something else I'm also very concerned about is the recent announcements that administration made about changes they want to make in the department and faculty structures. The first phase, I think, is with the sciences, particularly medicine, and changing those things there. And I'm a little concerned that that's going to decrease the quality of our education if we're giving out just broad-based degrees and diplomas. And so I'm interested in working with administration and with faculty as well, and on the Student Senate caucus, which I would be chair of, to help make sure that those changes are as positive as possible and are eliminated if they're going to decrease our educational quality.
Great. Alright, so the next question is just what non-academic experience do you bring to the position?
Okay, well, I coordinated the Women's Center for the past year, so I have a lot of experience organizing events and working with the current UMSU Council. I was also a women's representative on the 2010-2011 council, so I've pretty I know how it works, and I've been part of that process for a few years now. I've also facilitated quite a few events, so I'm very good at working with students in that way, and I helped out with the Pan-Canadian Young Feminist Gathering in May, and I've worked with Students Against Israeli Apartheid and with Students Against Bill 94 to help create safe spaces for communicating ideas, so it's something I think I'm pretty good at this point.
Great. So how do you feel about the state of support services for students on campus, such as like health services, counseling services, stuff like that? And is there anything that you would like to work with the university administration to improve or change here at the university?
Well, something I'm hearing a lot of from students is concerns about the health and dental plan, and so I'd love to work with council to improve that and work with as many students as possible to do that. And of course that would require calling a referenda, so I guess I'm interested to see from as many students as possible what they really want and how we can really get that to happen, because I know that's something that's been talked about for many years but no concrete changes have really been made, and so yeah, that's something I'd like to work with.
Cool. Anything else? We've got 30 seconds.
No.
Great. Awesome. So I guess obviously the Vice President Advocacy works a lot to, deal with academic discipline issues, or walk students through those types of issues a lot. So how familiar are you with the academic discipline policies on campus, and I guess what are your thoughts or opinions on the way those policies currently stand and affect students?
Okay, well, I haven't worked too closely with the policy in the past, but I do think that a lot of the issues that I've heard come from international students, and that when there are issues of plagiarism, it often comes from a student who really didn't know that they were committing plagiarism, and then they have to go through the motions of trying to prove that. And I think something we can start doing is working with those students preemptively and making sure that that doesn't happen, and that there's better facilities set up so that they can acquaint themselves with what plagiarism is and how to avoid it.
Okay. So this next question is sort of more of a follow-up to that. I guess how would you work to ensure students facing academic issues are effectively advocated for, that they kind of get the representation that they need and the information that they need to, deal with any issues that come up in that area?
Okay. I guess one thing that I think would be good is more credited courses towards international students, is that's the issue I'm most familiar with. And so setting up more courses that deal with plagiarism and things like that, and then I would just advocate for them on my personal behalf, and I think I would work really hard to make sure that they're well represented.
Great.
Don't have much else to say.